oh my god, is this book not finished yet? Hi guys, welcome back, and at last I was able to record this video of my review for the last book of the Caraval series, finale. What do I have to say? I finished reading this book early December. I think it was around first week of December. It's just that life's been chaotic. It's been real busy. I got really busy at work, and then the season. So I didn't get a chance. And on that line of thought, I just want to greet everyone a belated Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. So yeah, let's talk about Finale. Finale is the last book in the Caraval series, and I didn't like this one. Yeah, sorry, I didn't like this one. And to the point that halfway through reading this book, I'm just skimming through it. I'm just leafing through pages because I'm no longer interested. I'm no longer invested in these characters, which is really sad to say. And if you're there watching and thinking, Vanessa, why didn't you just DNF the book? I didn't DNF the book because this is the last book in the trilogy, and I've already read the first one, Caraval. I've read the second one, Legendary, and this is the last book, so might as well get it done and over with. But yeah, I was just leafing through it, and the thing that I find funny was I was just leafing through it, scanning through it, but at the same time, it's like it seems that it's never ending, to the point where I was just like, oh my god, is this book not finished yet? Yeah, so yeah, I didn't exactly like this book. And it also, I think I know what I'm getting into when I initially decided to read this book, that I know this is a YA book. This is a young adult book, and I'm not a young adult, so I know that I'm not the target audience for this book. But at the same time, reading the finale, it just nailed the coffin for me that, Vanessa, you're not the target audience. But at the same time, if you ask me, would I recommend this book to its target audience? I'm afraid I'm going to say no. I wouldn't recommend this book. Probably the first two books, I don't know. But then the last book, not really. I wouldn't recommend it to its target audience. And I do have a reason for that one. But before we jump into why, let's go to the premise first. So premise-wise, finale started where Legendary, immediately after Legendary. So Legendary ended where Paloma Dragna, the mom of Stella and Scarlet Dragna, and together with the rest of the Fates, were released from their deck of cards imprisonment. So from there, moving on to, so that's how Legendary ended. So moving from there to Finale. So it's there's not much of a gap. I think there's a year gap. I can't remember now. But so we're moving from there, and we are against time because since these Fates were released from their imprisonment, they are still weak. They are recuperating. They were sleeping. So we need to find ways on how to defeat these Fates, because as it turns out, they were the main villains. They are the bad guy in this universe, in this world, which, kudos to the book. To give the book credit, they did show a bit of how vicious this one or two or some of the Fates were, because yeah, one or two, because there's one Fate, I can't remember if it's a he or a she, but he or she turned this entire family into statues, because apparently he can't find any realistically looking statues. So in order to find a realistic statue, he turned all this living, breathing beings, family, into statues. Statues sort of freaks me out because mainly because of that Doctor Who episode, The Weeping Angels. So I was just like, oh, statues. And their statues turning humans into statues just reminds me of Medusa from what's that, Percy Jackson and Lightning Thief. So I've got that one as well there. Anyway, we're getting derailed. So the book did show how vicious, like I said, how vicious this Fates were, but it's just one or two of them. And then the only way for these Fates to be defeated, to be killed, is to get rid of their immortality, and their immortality, they will become mortal if they love someone, if they genuinely show or feel love towards someone else, which is quite difficult, as it turns out. So that's the premise. And then moving on, so with that premise, for me, that's all right. I don't have any questions with that premise. And then it turns out that the creator of these fates, of these beings, turns out to be. Oh wait, before I begin, I just want to say that this is not. I just want to remind everyone that this is not a spoiler-free review. So spoiler warning. Anyway, moving on. It was revealed that Scarlet and Stella apparently were not full siblings. They're half siblings, because Scarlet was the daughter of Paloma, and this person that is the creator of all the fates. So, and then Stella is Paloma's daughter with the abusive dad that they left in the first book. So I think, yeah, for me, premise wise, I could get on with the premise. I think what turns me off with this book was the characters, because my favorite character, Stella, I've mentioned in my previous review. You'll find it somewhere in the screen. I like Stella Dragna because she is strong-minded, very independent, but then in this book, I felt like they did Stella. They didn't do justice to her character, because in this book, she just turns into this very pining damsel in distress character, which is very, I don't know, off-brand from the previous book that I've read from her. And she was pining over Dante, aka Legend, wherein it's been mentioned, she's been told by Scarlet, by Julian, Dante's brother, by Dante himself, that Stella, I don't love you. I'm obsessed with you. I want you to be around, but I don't love you. And there were evidence of Dante not loving her, because like what I mentioned earlier, in order for fates to be mortal, they need to love someone, so they need to be mortal. And there were instances with Dante that he would sacrifice himself, his life, for Stella, but then, I don't know, morbid to say, but he didn't die, and that is because he doesn't love Stella. But then Stella was just like, to the point where, I don't care if he doesn't love me, I want to be with him forever. And you'll be like, girl, no, you're 17, for crying. This is why I don't recommend it its target audience, because you'll be like, it doesn't give the right message. Like, girl, Stella, you're 17. This boy doesn't want you. A lot of people were saying, red flags. No, you're free. You could go around the world, on their universe. You could go around the world, discover yourself, live a life. Don't spend all this time pining over a boy who is just merely obsessed with you and doesn't love you. And he himself said that he doesn't love you. Yeah, that's why I didn't like the book. And I feel like there are like some loose ends that I've got some questions, but they weren't answered. Because in Legendary, it was revealed that their mom, Paloma, was willing to sacrifice Stella's life than Scarlet. And then there's sort of a travel back in time portion in this book wherein Scarlet traveled back in time. She met Paloma. She revealed that, I'm your daughter, this is going to happen, blah, 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 blah. And nothing in there that I can remember that explained, even subtly, even in context, not verbatim, not actually explaining it, but probably in context, explained why Paloma was willing to sacrifice Stella's life than Scarlet. Probably because Scarlet is the daughter out of, let's say, love, so to speak, on Paloma's end. Because the other fate, the other immortal person doesn't exactly love her. I don't know. I feel like I'm just been rambling in this video, but yes, those are my thoughts about finale, which is a shame I find it really shame because it was a build up from Caraval and then Legendary. It was a huge jump, a huge build up, a huge jump of quality ish in writing, but then and character development, and then going back to finale we're in. Yeah. Anyway, I don't know what happened with my audio, but it stopped recording what I'm saying. So I just want to thank everyone for watching this video. And if you've noticed, I've speed up my sound because I was talking really slow. Anyway, so thank you for watching my video, and also see you on the next video. I'm currently reading Poppy Wars, so I'll be making a review of that eventually, sometime soon. So thank you again for watching, and see you on the next video. So yeah.